Hey, hope you're having a great day. In today's video, we're going to rank universities by how much money you'll make after you graduate. What are those top 10 universities according to salary? And we're going to go into some lesser known schools and show you that there are some really reputable schools that don't have big names that can lead to really respectable salaries. If that sounds good, then let's dive in.
Hi, I'm Ryan Swayt, and I used to be a two-time college dropout, making just $12 an hour. Then I learned how to hack college and earned an entire bachelor's degree in 9 months flat. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll show you how.
All right, so the first thing I want to do, I want to dive right in. We're going to jump over to my computer, and I'm going to show you a pretty cool resource, and it's basically a college salary report, okay? And you can find it at payscale.com. And I'm actually going to leave the link down below in the description so you can go surf through all of this info. But it's pretty cool. Let's look at some patterns here. And basically, we're looking at rankings for bachelor's degrees and how much you'll get paid after you graduate, okay? And unsurprising, the top 10 are fairly close to what we'd expect. We see MIT at the top, of course, a tech degree from probably the top tech college in the country, if not one of the top tech colleges in the entire world. We see Princeton, we see the U.S. Naval Academy, Stanford, Harvard, more military, Penn, 13 you see Yale, Dartmouth. You see some of these big name schools at the top, okay? So this isn't surprising. Some of these Ivy League schools are right there at the top with how much income you make after you graduate, okay? So that's going through the top 10, but I want to look at a couple of patterns that I've noticed, okay? So first off, you're going to see some kind of random schools pop up here at the top of the list. You're going to see like Colorado School of Mines, okay? You're going to notice a few schools that you've really never heard of. And then later in the top 100, you're going to see it's kind of all over the place, okay? University of California, San Diego, George Washington University, New York University, University of Virginia main campus. That's not surprising. Loyola, Franklin and Marshall College, Vanderbilt, and New Jersey Institute of Technology, Gettysburg College, Bernard College, and then UCLA. So you'll see some of the big name schools, and they're kind of mixed with a lot of not so big name schools. And the point I want to make here, and as we keep going through, like Fairfield, Middlebury, Northwestern is a really good school, Bentley University, the King's University, and you're seeing a lot of these incomes, like these starting incomes and mid-career pay. As you get down the list and you get past like the really premier Ivy League schools, there's a pretty good mix. Like you'll see, boom, big name school you've never heard of, and they have very similar salaries, okay? It's pretty incredible that that how much the school costs does not always mean you're going to make more money, right? Because we're seeing like really expensive, prestigious schools and schools we've never heard of all kind of grouped together in the same list. For example, I grew up in Utah. Okay. I grew up thinking I'm going to go to the University of Utah. It's one of the biggest name schools where I grew up, and I was a fan growing up. So let's look them up. Okay, so University of Utah, right out of college, average pay is like 60 grand. That's not very high, right? And this is where I grew up. This is one of the top 2 biggest name schools in my area where I grew up. Okay, now let's compare it to an online school, okay? Early career pay, average $60,000. One of my favorite all online schools is called Western Governors University. Okay. And boom, 59 $4,900. Same early career pay. The mid-career pay is a little bit lower. This data's got to be skewed because this is not a very old school. It's like 25 years old and really has gotten big in like the last 10 years. So this data is a lot harder to come by. But like out of college, income levels are so similar. I mean, it's sporadic. It's all over the place. And the point I want to make here is, yes, there are jobs where you need an Ivy League degree. You want to be a lawyer. You want to be high end and work for NASA, or you want to have some really, really prestigious, crazy job that's going to be very lucrative in your career. Sometimes the Ivy League schools are the way to go. Okay. If it's what matches your career. But I think it's really common. This is at least me growing up. I just thought, you know what? I'm going to go to the best school in my area. That's where I'm going to go. And it's going to make me more successful because it's a better school, right? That's not always the case. That's not always the case. The prestige, the name, the cost of the school does not always equate to a higher paying career. It just doesn't. Okay. Yes, sometimes it does, but on average, you're going through this list and you're seeing no-name schools with really, really decent out-of-college incomes, really, really decent mid-career pay. So the point I want to make, okay, is if you're in the same boat that I was, okay, a few years ago, I was broke. I couldn't afford an expensive school. I had previously dropped out of school twice. I ended up deciding, you know what? I'm going to go to a school that I can afford that still has a good name. You, of course, want a highly respected school. I always recommend regionally accredited universities because it's a really high-end education. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to a school that I can afford, and I'm going to go to a school that's online so that with my busy life working full-time, I can get all this done, right? And lo and behold, I earned an entire bachelor's degree in 9 months for really, really cheap, literally pennies on the dollar. And my career is just as good as if I had gone to University of Utah like I wanted to my entire life. Okay. So the big point I want to make is that, I mean, take a step back and look at your career. What kind of jobs are you looking for? Do you need a prestigious Ivy League school to get those jobs? Or do you need a college degree, just a college degree to open doors and get you those interviews? Because sometimes, and I'll even argue that most of the time, you need a college degree to get the interview. And then once you get into the interview, it's your skill set, your personality, how much the boss likes you, the person that's hiring likes you and feels like you'll add value to their team. Those are skills that need to be developed if you want to have a super successful career. You got to be good at interviewing for jobs. You got to be good at finding the right job openings. You got to be good at applying for jobs and all sorts of stuff like that and getting promotions. And those are the things that are really, really going to take your career to the next level. It's not always what college you got the degree from. And I will say, yes, like I said, go to a respected school, okay? But you don't need to spend 90 grand on school when you can spend 20 grand on school, okay? I hope that makes sense. Now, if you're watching this, if you're seeing my channel, you probably know I teach people how to earn college degrees faster for way, way less money. Down below in the video description, I'm going to leave a link to a free video just like this where I'm going to walk you through the 3-step process of what I call degree hacking. And it's basically a really cool strategy to accelerate your college degree, earn a college degree in as little as 6 months to 12 months, and save a whole bunch of money on tuition. I'll leave that link down below in the description. I hope this has helped. I hope being able to see, you know what, some of these Ivy League schools are totally legit and can lead to amazing, amazing careers, high income, but you need to have a job that actually requires that degree before you go spend 200 grand on college. If you don't have a ton to spend, look for respectable schools that you can accelerate. And if you need help with that, leave comments down below. If you have questions, leave comments down below. And yeah, I hope that you have a really, really bright career. like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and you'll start seeing more videos just like this. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you in the next video.